Alright, I'm working on a couple videos right now, but I do want to keep one video per month consistent schedule at least, so I'm just gonna get this one out really quickly. So a topic that I've been thinking about quite a lot recently is SteelSeries, and how these people used to make some of the most beloved shapes to have ever graced people's desks, and they are completely dead in the water. Okay, I've got two prime examples here. So this here is the Rival 310. This is actually one of my favorite shapes. I'm not much into ergos, but it is one of my favorite shapes. If I were to use an ergonomic mouse, I would have it be the 310 shape. Now the only issue with the 310 is that it never got an update. Obviously, there are still people on Reddit looking for alternatives, and there's just never going to be like a good one-to-one alternative. So yeah, if you remember when this thing came out, it got basically nothing but like glowing reviews across the board. I don't think back in 2017 anyone had anything really bad to say about this mouse. Obviously, if this was going to get brought back today, it's probably not going to be SteelSeries, but there would have to be a lot of changes made. So first of all, these big rubber side grips on either side, these need to go. In my experience, they do the exact opposite of gripping, and once my hands start sweating, they just become slippery, like I put fucking anal lube on them. Other than that, obviously it's quite heavy. It's around the 90-gram mark, somewhere within that. 88 to like 93-ish, I think. That obviously would need to come down. Wireless would be great. This rubber cable sucks ass. The sensor in this is a 3360. Now obviously that would have to get brought up to modern standards for a company to actually be able to sell it to people. However, the sensor itself performs fine. My main issue with this is obviously these are very old mechanical switches, and the right click has developed a double clicking issue, which is why I was never really able to test this mouse extensively, because I just can't use it in game. It's got a double clicking issue. Other than that, honestly, you chuck some like modern mechanicals in this, or opticals even, you make it wireless, you put a proper coating on this, and this would be a top shape. I have no idea why SteelSeries, this is just a mouse that they made, everyone loved, and then they just abandoned. The story is largely the same with the Rival 600. So this one I actually did use for a couple months a few years back. It was on discount on Amazon, and I thought, well, fuck it. I put some, fuck knows what this is, I think Tiger Arc 1 or something on it, and a paracord. Now, to start off with the good things, the paracording, it was actually the easiest part. Modding this mouse is unbelievably easy. So it just plugs in and out. Now obviously this is micro USB, so that's not ideal. If this were to be brought back, this would definitely have to be USB-C. It's very heavy, and it had a plethora of issues, like unbelievable issues. For example, these rubber grips on the sides were known for like melting off after an extended period of heavy use. And instead of actually solving the issue, as far as I know, SteelSeries just sold you extra grips separately. Obviously they wouldn't send you new ones, I don't think, but you could just buy it. Other than that, my copy has this horrendous issue. Look how much that wobbles. Look at the click wobble. This is like a couple months use at best. I know for a fact I didn't use this for that long, less than a year. Look at that. It's not even, that's not even, you can't even call that side play. That's like they're about to fall the fuck off. It's unbelievable. Now, the tech inside this mouse was actually really good for the time. So you can see it came with a separate sensor for the lift-off distance. This was one of those mice that was like the earliest adapters of like the dual sensor design. Although this one was just for the lift-off distance, and you can set this very, very low. That's something that I think did influence the mice of today. Obviously, we see very low LODs today, like 1mm and below with the 3950s. And this didn't used to be the norm 10 years ago. LODs across the board tended to be a lot higher, and this was the time when SteelSeries was actually innovating. Now they did manage to keep this around, fuck knows, 97-100 grams ish. Obviously that would need to be That would need to be reduced. They did make a wireless one, but that one was even heavier. I think it weighed maybe 120 grams or something. It was very heavy, even for that time. Obviously, no one in the right mind would recommend that you buy either one of these today. You can actually still find the 600 on Amazon, I'm pretty sure. So if they were to bring this mouse back, obviously the entire thing would need a redesign. I think they could just take the silhouette and then start from scratch. This entire top shell, the coating on it is not that great, in my opinion. It's not great for my sweaty hands. Obviously, mileage may vary. The entire top thing needs a redesign. Whatever they did to stabilize the clicks, or rather didn't do to stabilize the clicks, that needs to be revamped. The scroll wheel actually is still very nice. Like it's very quiet. I always did like SteelSeries scroll wheels. Quiet, they are very quick, they're reasonably easy to spam, and they did put the sniper button on here, which is actually probably the only implementation of a sniper button that I've tried that doesn't intrude with the regular use of this mouse, at least with my hand size. So it's out of the way. They didn't put it smack bang under the side buttons like Corsair did on some of their mice, or Logitech even. And yeah, eventually I had to just stop using this because this thing was too big, it was too heavy, it was uncomfortable. And that's what brings me into, if we could make like a rival 600 mini, doesn't matter what company, if we could make a rival 600 mini and just give these sides a little bit of a rework, I think it would be an absolute top mouse. Obviously with modern specs, 3950, good quality mechanicals or opticals. Around the 60 gram range, I think, would be acceptable. USB-C, naturally, not micro USB. I think this would be crazy good. They do have this removable side stuff. This used to be big back in the day. Oh, what the fuck? This is where you could add the weights that came with the mouse. I don't know where mine are. I think I probably lost them. You could get this mouse up to like, what, 130 grams or something around that range. Obviously, very different time. This is not something you would see nowadays. That is an unnecessary feature, but apart from all that, I would, honest to God, use this if it had decent enough specs and if it was just a little lighter. Now, honorable mention here, the Rival 300. This was the precursor to the 310. This thing is fucking huge. It is massive. Just let me compare these two. Okay. Like, no wonder I couldn't use the 600 because it's almost as big as the 300. Now, obviously, the sensor in this is like ancient technology. It's like a 3310 or a variant of a 3310, and I tried it on my QCK and it actually doesn't work. It doesn't track properly. I tried it on this pad. This is a EMB from Endgame Gear. So it looks okay with textured pads. I bought this for like 20 quid off of AliExpress, purely as a novelty item. I knew I wasn't going to use this. This thing is fucking massive. And I would really like to see someone bring this back, because the main thing that's holding it back, well, there's several actually. Obviously rubber cable, small Teflon skates, things like that. The left click is actually considerably heavier than the right. This won't come across that well on camera, but it's considerably heavier. The scroll wheel is nice. Side buttons are decent. Obviously, rubber side grips, big thing back in the day. Wouldn't see these now. The sensor just doesn't hold up whatsoever, in my opinion. It just needs to go. But if someone brought these two back, if I could choose, it would have to be the 310. But if either of these came back with modern specifications, any of these three, I think they would be selling really well.